It's time, my friends. It's time to get to the Nets and the Sixers, Game 3, a.k.a. the flagrant foul fallout. There were many whistles going down in this one. We'll show you what we mean. This is Game 3. Things got chippy early. We're going to pick this one up in the first quarter because Embiid here called for a foul on Nick Claxton. Claxton steps over him, but then Embiid appears to kick out his leg here. So Embiid issued a flagrant one. Claxton issued a technical on this one.
That was a laying tiger.
Take a listen to Doc Rivers.
Hey, guys, we got to play Joe. We got to pick our speed up. Come on. Hey, everybody, come on. Guys, it's not supposed to be easy. Y'all want easy.
Okay, so then things wouldn't get easier. This is the end of the third quarter here, Perk.
Yeah, you know, he was actually making a basketball play.
Right.
This was the worst ejection in NBA history, in my opinion. I mean, this was ridiculous.
Well, the players' faces, right?
Yeah, I mean,
say it all. He was stunned. He was ejected for a flagrant 2 there. Neither Harden or Embiid could believe it. And then things kind of continued here.
This is one of the dumbest all-time ejections that a player has gotten when his team needed him in a must-win game. With one technical, to get in Embiid's face and stay there that long, that can't happen.
Tyrese Maxey pulls up from 3, gets it to go.
Tyrese Maxey, that dude, he's going to get the bag.
Brooklyn still with the chance. Huge block from Embiid. The Sixers narrowly get the win. Take a listen to how postgame sounded.
I don't think I've ever seen that in my career before, Alex, for a guy to intentionally kick someone in an area that none of us want to be kicked at or towards, and for him to continue to play. I've never seen that before. In a game, and a guy continues to be able to play.
You could see what they were doing, just trying to get a rise out of me. I'm too valuable, especially after the first one. And, you could see, what the game plan was. Got to hit them, got to, make me frustrated so I could get ejected. I'm too mature to put myself in a position where I'm going to get ejected.
Unacceptable. Like unacceptable, flagrant 2. Like the first time I've been ejected, I'm not labeled as a dirty player. You know what I mean? I didn't hit him in a private area. Somebody's draped on you like that defensively. It's just a natural basketball reaction. Honestly, I don't even think it was a foul on me, but yeah, that's unacceptable. That can't happen.
So the conversation continued into the day today. Take a listen to Doc Rivers.
I'm going to say this, probably shouldn't. Didn't think Draymond should have got suspended. And I think the league is setting up a very dangerous precedent right now. And this is not me campaigning, all right? And I'm dead serious. And I said it kind of yesterday before. I wish I'd have said it louder. But if we're going to start punishing the retaliators and not the instigators, then we got a problem. If I was at a park, and I'm going to make this point, and you stood over me, we're going to have a problem. But these guys know they can do it because they know most likely you can't do anything. Teams targeting the better players with instigation to get them thrown out, and the better player has to be above, and can't retaliate.
I want to start here with some reporting that our Adrian Wojnarowski just had, that both James Harden and Joel Embiid, there will be no further escalation, that this is going to be where the punishment stands. Can you just shed some light on why that was the decision that was made?
Well, I think there are varying degrees of things that reach the level of a flagrant foul penalty 2. Some are right at the limit of flagrant foul penalty 2 or a flagrant foul penalty 1, and therefore the in-game penalties suffice. Some exceed those extremes that need a post-game upgrade, if you will, in terms of further punishment. In this instance, the league felt that the in-game punishments were appropriate.
So looking back, though, we just heard, right, from James Harden saying that this was one of his most puzzling, right, flagrant 2 ejections that we've seen. And a lot of players, that's the same look that was on their face. In hindsight, did you feel like this warranted an ejection?
I do, and the fact that Kendrick and I disagree is a long-standing issue, and all the way back to the parquet floor. So he has slightly become more cuddly in post-retirement, but we're still probably going to disagree on officiating, and that's understandable. In this, you see James have two hands on the ball at the beginning of the move. Now, slightly pushing off is ubiquitous in the NBA, and we understand that. But you have to be responsible for your actions outside the realm of intent. And hitting someone in the groin, in this instance, James had two hands on the ball. He then delivers a backhanded blow, not a front palm blow where he might be pushing off, if you will. And that blow landed in the groin area. We have to be responsible for our actions, even if there's no intention there. In this instance, the contact was significant, and a flagrant was applied, and I think correctly so.
But then looking at Joel Embiid, when he struck Claxton when Claxton stepped over him. I don't really understand the difference if we're ejecting ejecting James Harden rather for hitting someone in the groin, but not ejecting Joel for kind of the same thing. That's clearly a non-basketball move. Can you explain that?
I can, Malika. You know, generalizations make for good comparisons across the league, and they make things easier. Unfortunately, NBA referees and NBA referee operations live in a much more precise world of demands on being correct. And where the contact takes place really is important. With Harden, it was actually to the groin. With Embiid, he hits the back of the hamstring, the back of the leg, in a glancing blow to make sure that he's getting Claxton off of him, if you will. And that preciseness is important when you're having to get the play correctly adjudicated with 9 different angles. Now, the TV production doesn't always show the angles, all the comprehensive angles that we have in replay. And we really do have to be precise about where that point of contact took place. Embiid's was on the back of the leg, and Harden's was to the groin, and there is the distinction.
Hey, Monty, before I ask you my question for the good old times, just give me a technical foul real quick. You done gave me so many.
This was easy for you.
I already know. Just give me tee me up one time. I want to ask you this. Knowing that the postseason is full of emotions, players are going to pick up their physicality, the fan base is going to be hostile, you know, guys are going to be fighting to get games no matter what. I want to know, what are the conversations that are being held for us in the officiating group, in the circle, about officials maintaining their emotions as well and seeing the situation and saying, you know what, let us take a step back before we react to this situation and actually throw out or eject a superstar or star player out of a game, a playoff game in particular?
Well, I think it's a great point, Kendrick. I think we have to maintain our emotions as NBA referees. One of the things that we really train on is if you're saying or having thoughts of no one speaks to me that way, then you're not in a position to assess a technical foul appropriately. We have standards at the NBA, and if it reaches the standard of a technical foul or a flagrant foul penalty 1 or a penalty 2, we want that delivered unemotionally. I think it is important, though, to make the distinction that we don't want to get into the mindset as referees of superstar or star. That's not our role. The standards of the NBA should be applied to all participants equally. We've got to make sure we measure up to moments regardless of the names on the back of the jersey. I also think it's important that standards are upheld. This idea of a playoff foul gets referees in a real difficult spot because we train all year long. And when we train and deliver consistent work, then coaches and players have the opportunity to coach that work and adjust to that work. If we change it for the playoffs, then everything that took place between October and now April is inconsistent to what they're expecting. We have to live up to those standards if we want people to be able to understand how to play the game, how to coach the game.
Zach?
What's up, Monty? I don't want you to tee me up. I'm the Mike Conley of NBA Today. I never get technicals. I'm very polite. I want to go back to the results versus intent kind of thing because I want to go back to Embiid last night. Are you essentially saying that his aim being off is the reason he wasn't ejected? I guess it's similar to like if someone winds up to throw a punch and they miss, that's different than if they land. The punishment's going to be different. But how do you weigh results versus intent? Because it sounds like he wasn't ejected because he missed, essentially.
Well, we really focus on the act itself in that way. Also, the severity of the contact. In this instance, Zach, we can't get into intent because intent is very difficult for all year long, as I just discussed. For my first-year referee to interpret the same way, my 34th-year referee may understand intent. We're much more concerned with seeing the act. And if the act doesn't have the same point of contact. Now, is it possible that the point of contact could be the same here, but the delivered blow be much more severe and equal a flagrant foul penalty too? Of course. All things are taken into account. The severity of the contact, the placement of the contact. Was there an acceleration or a wind-up? And wind-up can be both with a physical move with our arm, or it could be with speed in which we wind up to deliver that blow. All in with a glancing blow and the miss, as you suggested, to the point of contact, leads that to be a flagrant foul penalty 1.
James Harden and Joel Embiid both available for the next game. Monty McCutchen, thank you so much for spending some time with us here on NBA
Appreciate it, Monty.
Thanks, Monty.
Thank you all.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.